Hey race fans, it's race day, top 5 with me, Frank 5. A day late because of a snowstorm. Not what the fans had hoped for, but they got great racing at a Paperclip, and the guy that won was quite a hot dog, and he can celebrate with as many hot dogs as he wants because he's hilarious. He's just funny. Number 1, Clint Bowyer. Oh my gosh, finally, Bowyer fans can praise he's back. And better than ever. Second year with Stewart Haas Racing, stepping in for the retired Tony Stewart at the end of the 2016 season. Bowyer had a lot to prove since he hadn't been to victory lane in 6 years and 190 races. That all came to a close today as he captured the STP 500 at Martinsville and got himself a grandfather clock and a ticket to the playoffs, something he hadn't done since 2015 in 3 years. I'm a Bowyer supporter, don't get me wrong, folks. I like Clint Bowyer because he's a great guy, he's a kind person, and his sense of humor, Clint Bowyer is just Clint Bowyer. He's just hilarious. Whenever he's in the Xfinity broadcast booth calling Xfinity races, or if he's down in the truck in the garage messing with the reporters and everybody, he's just a hoot. He's a riot. I enjoy him. My dad enjoys him. Everybody enjoys Clint Bowyer. I mean, even though a couple years ago he ran into the 24 at Gordon at Phoenix and we got him back, I'm past that. I just love Clint Bowyer. I'm so happy for this because the last few years, Clint Bowyer has been down in the dumps. 2016, he drove for a mediocre team that was certainly almost in the back every weekend. And then his final 2 seasons with MWR didn't really go as planned, despite making the playoffs in 2015. They shut down at the end of the 2015 season, and he felt like, where's my career going to go from here? And then Tony Stewart calls him out and selects him as the driver to replace him after Tony's retirement. And I think Tony made the right choice. It took a year for this guy and a couple races so far this year to get his first win with the team, but overall, great success as he captured the win over Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Number 2, Kyle Busch, second again. I mean, this guy has been consistent since Atlanta after the poor result at Daytona, but he still is a little bit upset with himself, knowing why can't he seal the deal? Why can't Kyle Busch seal the deal? Well, sometimes maybe you're making the wrong adjustment, or you don't have the good track position like everybody else in front of you has, or maybe, they adjust their car better than you did on the last pit stop. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know what Adam Stevens needs to do. I don't know what Tony Hirschman needs to do to guide Kyle through the race. It's just, you got to work harder. But you got to be proud, despite all these second place finishes, that you're having a strong momentum and you have all things going your way at the start of the season. So you got to be proud of that. So Kyle needs to take that going into the spring break, and he'll come back strong in Texas. Number 3, Ryan Blaney, a name you would normally not even hear at Martinsville because it's not really favored to the young guys. It's mostly favored to the veterans. He dominated most of the race today behind Clint Bowyer and won stage 2 and led 145 laps. But when he lost the lead, he just couldn't get it back. Overall, though, I will say he was the best of the young guns today. He did a fantastic job, and I think if he comes back here in the fall and he's part of the playoffs at the time, it could probably be a big race for him about going into Homestead. Number 4, Denny Hamlin, who is one of the Martinsville Masters, dominated stage 1, leading 111 laps. But then he got stopped back in traffic with Blaney, and he couldn't get his track position back. And a couple cautions before the end of the race, he actually got into the back of Kevin Harvick when Harvick checked up in front of him, or brake checked him. And it damaged the front of his nose, and he lost all of his track position and finished 12th. So, not exactly the finish you hope for, but you have a solid car. That means something, especially when we come back here in the fall, like I mentioned. And number 5, Alex Bowman, who hasn't been here in 3 years, driving for Tommy Baldwin Racing. His first time here at Martinsville with the 88 car, he captured a 7th place finish. His first top 10 of the season, and I think it's a momentum builder for this entire race team because they've been a top 15, top 20 team at the start of the season, and I think that's fantastic. But today, at a track you haven't been in 3 years, and you've mostly been doing the simulator for Hendrick Motorsports, I think that simulator experience paid off for Alex Bowman, and I honestly still think he can make the playoffs. It's just he's got to get better and better as weeks progress with these Camaros. Finally, to recap, Chase Elliott, new lanyard came in. We struggled at the beginning of the race. We fell a lap down, got back on the lead lap, fell a lap down, then we got back on the lead lap, and we finished P9 today for the 9 car. So overall, it's a good finish going into the break. Got some work to do, but I think we'll catch up. So in the meantime, everybody have a wonderful Easter break. that's all for now, and we'll see you in 2 weeks in Texas. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Congrats to Clint Bowyer. Welcome back, and see you in Texas.